Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And here I have a comparison chart on the screen for you guys from T-Mobile. This seems to be their new marketing message that they're going, or go-to market strategy that they're using for Q2. Apparently, this will air on TV or has already been spotted. But once again, they're leading with price. So all this mumbo jumbo about the leading 5G network, the fastest 5G network, the largest 5G network, it all goes back to them competing on price. That is something that they did during LTE. And that's what I stated very clearly during the merger proceedings. I made several videos that even post-merger, and we're now 4 years post-merger, T-Mobile would still have the smaller network and likely would still have to compete on price. And that's exactly what's happening 4 years after the merger close. They are still competing on price. So even if you're totaling the entire United States, right, the amount that T-Mobile's network is still smaller, let's say all of that totals to, let's just throw 250,000 square miles, right? If we're talking Oregon, Maine, Nebraska still, parts of Wisconsin, if we total all of that up, that T-Mobile is smaller, let's say that totals to 250,000 square miles. Now, you might say, well, that's not that much anymore. I say that is still the size of the entire state of Texas that they're behind the competition, even 4 years post-merger. So it's very clear that they're still competing on price. So here's the new deal. The Go 5G Plus, you get 3 lines for $150. What does that mean? Once again, they're giving away free lines still. The third line is free for new customers. That's the way that they can beat AT&T and Verizon on price. As you can see, for 3 lines, including the tax and the similar streaming services that T-Mobile offers for free, AT&T is $210, and then Verizon is quoted at $215, right? Including the streaming perks, the taxes, and then the pricing for the lines. So, and then they go on to say, they show you this, like we are for 3 lines, 29% cheaper than AT&T and 30% cheaper than Verizon. So they are really, really, really stressing the pricing and the value here. They are showing you we have perks on streaming that you don't have to pay for with us, but you do have to pay for that with AT&T and Verizon, and that makes them 30% and 29% more expensive. People are going to gravitate towards that. But again, that kind of it's tough on the perception. So T-Mobile is still going to be perceived the value leader. They're still going to be perceived cheaper if T-Mobile really pushes this into the market. But then where's the network excellence, right? When does that come into play? When does that become a selling point? With Verizon, that's a selling point. That's a perception that Verizon has. Like, hey, if I want the best network, I got to go to Verizon. Now, you might say, well, Verizon isn't gaining any customers. And you're right. They're not organically growing. But I feel that's because of the times that we're in. The economic situation is forcing people to relook all of their pricing. And if they can get a better deal on T-Mobile for a good enough network, they are willing to switch. And we can see that clearly. And now if T-Mobile is really going to push this and emphasize this pricing, I mean, more and more people are likely to gravitate from AT&T and Verizon. It's very possible. I don't know how this has swayed the numbers. I'll have to ask around and take a look. But this looks to be the Q2 marketing strategy, pushing pricing, leading with price. 3 lines at $150 is a compelling offer. You're technically only paying for 2 lines, you know, and that's really what it is. The third line is free. So you get 2 lines, you get 1 free. So it's a very aggressive offer. It's still very questionable, especially now as big as T-Mobile is, as much capital as they need to spend. Can they really be giving away free lines? And that's something that Stenke hinted at during the earnings call recently. He said, I'm not here to give away free calories, right? In other words, free lines. And that's something that T-Mobile has been using excessively during LTE, and even now, even worse during LTE. They were giving away 4, 5, 6 free lines, but it seems like T-Mobile is still pushing that third line for free. So regardless, I'm positive if you get 3 lines paid, you can get a 4th one for free. They seem to always throw in 1 free line in any combination that you throw it in, which including the perks, right? Because T-Mobile now offers on the Go 5G Plus, I think it's still for new customers. It's still only Netflix and Apple TV. If you go with the Go 5G Next, it's Hulu, Apple TV, and Netflix. So again, their leading plan is the Go 5G Plus. That lets me know there's only a very, 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 very small percentage of people that are choosing Go 5G Next. It probably will be a plan that becomes irrelevant with time because it's just priced too high. I mean, it's really priced at like 110 or 105 or something like that. And then the auto pay discount kicks in and drops it down to 100. It's just a very overpriced plan, in my opinion, for a company that's supposed to be the value leader. Now, T-Mobile is claiming and rebuttaling people that it's an option. It's a choice. We just want to offer it to our base, but it has really not that great of a value, right? People can already upgrade once a year with the jump. So what's the whole deal with the Go 5G Next? The same deal? People might not want that. But again, that's why it's a choice. If you don't want it, you don't choose it. So that's something that T-Mobile is really claiming. So very interesting. Just wanted to share this with you guys. New comparison charts are out. T-Mobile is leading once again with pricing. And that seems to be the way that they feel comfortable to grow the company. It's effective. Some people have voiced their opinion that Verizon may have to go that route to grow organically again. That T-Mobile's network is good enough. In these times, I think money does the talking. Capital needs to be spent. It's a digital age. The across the board, any generation you look at, millennials, Gen X, whatever. Right? Everybody's streaming more. Even the older generation, everyone is streaming more. And the networks have to be up to standard. So how does T-Mobile fit in that? We will see in the future. We will definitely see how T-Mobile fits into all of that. All we know is today, and that's a fact, Verizon and AT&T still significantly spend more. Regardless of what you're looking at. Wireless, fiber to the cell, fiber to the home, it happens at Verizon and AT&T. Significantly higher spend on the networks overall. Now T-Mobile wants to get into fiber. I'm sure eventually they're going to do fiber to the cell, and they just spend significantly less. So, like I said, they're going to lag behind on scale. They gained the scale now on wireless with Sprint, even though they're still behind. And now they're far behind on scale on fiber. So now they have to figure out how to do that. And to grow, leading with price. And again, this will likely lead to a higher ARPA, right? Now they can sell that customer home internet, a watch line, a tablet line. I get it. I understand all that. But, what happened to the leading 5G network? Why not let the perception, and have that shine through, not by price. But again, that's how T-Mobile decides to compete. Seems to be their go-to market. We'll see what happens in Q2 once those earnings reports are released. Make sure you stay tuned. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. See you in the next one. Peace.